Hey everybody, I thought I'd stop up here at the top of Oak Creek Pass and start a little piece on renewable energy and what I see are as the pros and cons of it as a realist, not as an environmentalist, which I'm not, and not as someone who doesn't care about the environment, because I do. But I'm all for renewable energy. Let me preface this by saying that. I have solar on my house. Uh, I think it's a good thing that we have it. Helps out, but it's certainly not the answer to our problems where energy is concerned. I really don't even like the fact that it's called renewable energy because I don't know what's renewable about it. It's not like you're recycling anything to create this energy. The carbon footprint involved in the manufacturing of these dams, wind machines, and solar panels is extreme. The petrochemical processes that are used in almost every aspect of the production of these is high. They have to be transported to their locations and they have to be constructed. Takes a lot of people to build these big parks. And as you can see in the background here, that's looking back towards Mojave. And there are a lot of wind machines out here. Somebody has to build these, and like I said, it takes a lot of people, takes a lot of equipment. The vehicles needed to get the people around to get this stuff, cranes, trucks, bulldozers, all the heavy equipment needed to build these. It's got a huge carbon footprint, and wind energy and solar energy are really not that efficient. As I said, they're certainly not going to solve our problems. And while both of the technologies have come a long way, they still have a long way to go. They can only be used in certain places, places like, as far as wind goes, places like the Tehachapi Pass, the Altamont Pass, down at Banning, a few places out in the desert where the desert floor is close to mountains, where the wind is pretty much consistent. You couldn't build a wind park in the San Joaquin Valley. There's not enough wind there. On the other hand, it's a good place for solar. It's sunny 300 days a year. And all these wind machines, they're really not enough. Even all of them are in this Tehachapi area put together, and there are thousands of them, aren't enough really to even power a city like Bakersfield. That's a problem. You know, where does it stop? Where do we stop building things? Where do we stop putting solar arrays? But anyway, nevertheless, it is cool technology. Most of these machines that I'm surrounded by here have been here for a long time. Most of them were built in the mid-'80s. So they've lasted a long time. I see a few around here that are obviously no longer working. They have the covers off of them. They're stopped. They look pretty beat up. But a lot of them are still working, and they have some of the big newer ones around here that are more efficient. As much as I hated them when they built them because they closed down all of our old dirt bike riding areas in Tehachapi, wind parks actually kind of look cool. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And like I said, there are pros to this type of energy. It does reduce the strain on the grid, especially places like Bakersfield and towns up the valley. Suffer power interruptions every summer because of the overloaded grid. I didn't put solar on my house to relieve the grid. I put it on my house to relieve my pocketbook. Energy bills are really expensive, and they're going to get worse. And so I thought I'd give it a try. I think it's going to pay off. But as far as answering our energy problems, as I've said, I don't think it's going to do it. They also take up a lot of room. This wind park up in Tehachapi is vast. I don't know how many square miles it covers. It goes all the way from the Tehachapi side of the mountains all the way down into Mojave, and from Highway 58 east all the way over the mountains here behind me. And that's a lot. That's a lot of area. And the same with the solar arrays. I'll be doing some stuff on those. There are a lot of those out on near the Lone Pine Branch where I work. I'll show you what kind of room those take up. It irritates me that they say we can't ride our dirt bikes out there because they mess up the landscape, but they can sure build wind parks and solar arrays. But anyway, not to beat this kind of energy over the head. It has its place. But if we're going to get rid of fossil fuels, which at some point we're going to have to, it's not going to happen in my life, probably won't happen in my kids or my grandkids' lives, but at some point we're going to have to figure out another way to power things, and I just don't think that this is going to be the answer.